How am I gonna have... I look like a fucking lunatic. Hello, Merry Christmas, and welcome to the unexpected second part of this video. When I first recorded this video last year, I thought this was just going to be a one-off. That's why I tried to cram as many drinks as I can into it. However, a couple months after that, I'd find another drink, and another drink, and another drink. And after finding probably about 20, 25, I was like, you know what? This is going to be another video, isn't it? And if you couldn't tell by the length of the video, yeah, I found a lot more drinks. Usually, I'd say with a list this long, or a video this long, that there's no time for dilly-dallying. But I do have one thing to bring up first. You might notice that during that first video, I had some energy drinks that were discontinued. Well, between that video going live and this video coming up, there's been a few more drinks that have been discontinued. So before this video begins, I'd like to, pay my respects to those who have been discontinued. Yes, 2 of my top 5 favourite energy drinks have been discontinued, including my number 1. This right here, this is the last El Mango that I've been able to find. The day that I heard that they were being discontinued, I went and got a 12-pack off Mighty Ape, and this is the last one from it. This was like 7 months ago. I've managed to make them last this long. But for one last time, cheers. God, I'm going to miss this. Alrighty, so onto the tier list, huh? So last year, the cutoff date for this was December the 1st, but I have made it November 1st this time. This was because when I did it last year, I was like, 3 weeks of editing will be enough. I've got nothing else I have to worry about. The issue is, I still work. I work in a supermarket. I work in a supermarket around Christmas time. We always get, you know, stuff. So I was working many hours, coming home, and spending hours on that. So I make it a little easier on myself. I have to do this, lazy one, chill out, relax, watch Rogers, leasing the 3, watch Dodgers, leasing all that, and just go, but yes, so that's why November 1st was the cutoff date. Now, not only will these drinks be ranked against each other in their respective tiers, but I'll also compare that to the tiers from last year's video to have a complete and utter full tier list. So, let's get it started with the F- tier. And oh boy, do we have a doozy to begin. So first up on the list, the worst of the worst is the Talk Energy Drink Vanilla flavour. When I did my list last year, this tier was just like the drinks that I just didn't want to finish, right? This, I took one sip, spat it out, and then vomited. That is how bad that drink is. Like, I can eat a lot of shit. I can drink a lot of shit. Like, I am not one of those ones that's like, ew, it's disgusting. Ugh. I took one sip of this, and my body said no. It's just like, vanilla essence. It's like you've taken that, you've taken a cup of water, and you're like, just a little bit of vanilla. Oh, this is delicious. It was fucking foul. If you enjoy this, you need to be locked up. Oh, I'm just glad that I've tried it, so I never have to try it again. Following this, we're not getting any better. It is the A-game drink, Strawberry and Lemon Zero. Strawberry, I know strawberry, it's a tough taste to replicate, but boy, you have not done it right here. It is like you've taken the lemon, and you've decided instead of, adding it to the drink, you're like, I'm going to use the acid in this to absolutely ruin the strawberries, make them completely rotten and disgusting, and then we'll turn it into a drink. How do you feel about that? Yeah, this was the second time my body said, and I threw up afterwards. So, yeah, I don't see these two being beaten as the worst two drinks anytime soon. Alright, a couple of back-to-back ones here. And it is the Mahi Sparkling Protein Water, strawberry, and pineapple. So, the strawberry one, it wasn't that bad in terms of, well, compared to the last fucking strawberry drink I had. It was just odd because it's sparkling water, but it tasted like strawberry milk. As for the pineapple one, it did taste like pineapple, pretty funky pineapple, but just not a pleasant pineapple. Another back-to-back, shit, this is good for me. The Schnack Protein Shake Chocolate and Vanilla Original Flavours. Now, you may be thinking, what do you mean the original flavours? There's only 3 of them, and these are 2 of them. Well, funnily enough, these 2 have been reworked. I was doing the cold shelf and I'm putting them out, and I noticed, oh, they've got a sticker on them. New and improved flavour. Those 2 will appear later on this list. As for these 2, though, oh boy, they were bad. They just tasted of gunk. Sludge. You know, the bottom of the rubbish bin that you haven't cleaned in about 3 weeks. That's what I assume these tasted like. The worst one is the vanilla one didn't taste like vanilla. It just tasted like coffee. I know that they're supposed to be, you know, protein shakes. There are so many better protein shakes out there. But don't worry, because I don't think you can get these anymore. I think these are technically discontinued now because they've been remastered. Next up, In a Bloom Vanilla Coffee. So, like, look, I know I don't like coffee, so why do I keep buying these drinks? I like to be thorough, okay? If you like coffee, this is probably not even the one for you. This didn't even, it didn't taste of vanilla, it didn't taste of coffee, it just tasted bitter. No other flavour, it's just bitter. If you wanted to get a vanilla coffee, may I suggest the next drink on this list? Before you speak, vanilla latte? At least this one actually tasted like bitter vanilla. You know, the flavour it's supposed to convey. Next up, Talk Energy Drink, Lemon and Lime. So this was the first one of these Talk Energy drinks that I had. You need 500 mils of water for this. And what you're supposed to do is put it in 250 mils, then shake it up to dissolve all the powder, and then add the other 250 mils. The issue is that I tried this, and it didn't all dissolve. In fact, for almost all of them, I was left with this fucking glob of gunk at the bottom of my glass. I don't know what the gunk was. It was like, have you ever mixed corn flour and water, and it's, you know, that little oobleck type gunk? It was like that, but it was just so sticky. Like, I even tried whisking it with a little whisk, and it just get stuck to the whisk, or the whisk would get stuck to the glass. And even then, the flavour for this, it just tasted like you've taken lime skins. Not even like the meat of the fruit, just the skins. You boil them in water, and you're like, here you go, here's your drink. Fucking disgusting, man. And to finish up the F- tier, we have the A game drink, strawberry and lemon. So remember what I said about the zero version of this? Well, let's just say the little bit of sugar that's in this drink made it just bearable, I'd say. Like, it was this close to being in the F tier, but nah, couldn't go any higher. Now, as we can see here, as the entire list comes up, that yes, those 2 drinks are at the bottom of the F- tier. And as I say, I don't think they're going to be beaten for a long time. Nothing else really to talk about. The A game drink nearly got into the F tier, so obviously it's top of the list here, but yeah, not really that much to talk about. Rightio, on to the F tier now. Now, thankfully for me, this is not a big list, so. The bottom of our F tier is the Nescafe Iced Cappuccino. I'm reading the description of this, I'm surprised I didn't put it in the F- tier. But then I remembered those are only the drinks that I cannot finish. I willed my way to finishing this. But yes, it just tasted of bile. And as someone who, you know, gets the occasional migraine, I know what bile tastes like. Alright, another double header back to back here. The Summit Red Thunder, sugar-free, and, well, not sugar-free. One of the things you may see me talk a lot about on this is Robitussin. That cherry-flavoured cough syrup is one of the most, if not the worst, flavoured medicine that I've had. The issue is that I like cherry flavouring. Somehow, I grew up as a kid having to have Robitussin, and then being like, yes, I like this Dr. Pepper. I like the cherry Coke. Make it make sense. And when it comes to energy drinks, Red Bull, not my favourite. So you mix the 2 together, is not really that pleasant of a drink. I did like the sugar-free one less, similarly to the A drink one, where it's that little bit of sugar just adds a bit more palatability to the drink. And the last two in the F tier, told you this was a short one, is another double header. Before you speak espresso, and before you speak double espresso. So somehow, the one with more coffee tasted less bitter and more sweet. I thought that more coffee equals more bitter, but apparently not. But yeah, if you like coffee, I mean, maybe you might like the double espresso. I mean, as a non-coffee drinker, it was all right, I guess. I just didn't want to finish it. And there's a few more coffee drinks a lot higher up on this list. When we compare this to the F tier of last year, you'll see that all of these drinks are basically top tier. That's because, boy howdy, there was some rank ass drinks last year. So, well done to your coffee drinks and your fucking Red Summit whatevers. Plus tier is a bit bigger than the last two, unfortunately. The first drink on this list is another A game drink. This time it is the Citrus Zero. So, to start off, the first sip was actually quite nice. I had it, I'm like, ooh, a little bit orangey, a little bit lemony. However, the second sip onwards, I'd taste that, and then it was just the regret would set in of how bad it actually tasted. But for that one little sip, that gets it into the F plus tier. Following that up, we have another Talk energy drink. This time is the black currant flavour. To be fair, it did taste a black currant, but you mix the black currant with bleach. Now, thankfully, I've never actually had to consume bleach, but I smell it. It makes my nose hurt. I can only imagine what it would be like tasting it. It's like tasting lava. You could probably do it, but maybe only once. Next up, we have the first of the Arizona tea and Marvel, mash-up drinks. Citrus Lemon Lime. I don't know if it's because I've had it before trying these, but nowadays, drinks like this, fucking Prime has ruined it. As soon as I try it, I'm like, it just tastes like coconut water. It just tastes like Prime. And then all I can think of is Prime. I do not like Prime. So I do not like this. The fact that it's, just a little bit sour, it's like, well, I guess that's the citrus taste for you. But definitely not one to hunt down and search out, though. And boy, neither is this next one. Ignite Mint Mojito. Now, I've already gone on about how I don't drink coffee, but I also do not drink the alcohol. I know that the mojito is a very divisive cocktail. I have a list of cocktails in my recipe book. The guy that doesn't drink has a lot of these. And so I just, make it for my parents to try, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, that's good, that's this, that's that. Yeah, they did not like this, and they liked a lot of my drinks that I made. So basically, this energy drink, though, it tastes like you've just had, a nice cup of lime soda after you finish brushing your teeth. You know how bad orange juice is when you've brushed your teeth? It's kind of like that. Not as intense, but it's just like, why can I taste mint? I know that's the fucking flavour, but still, you drink it and it's like, why? So you may be looking at the flavour of this next drink and being like, that's not a bad flavour. Why is it so low? Well, the Switch Energy Strawberry Meringue, the flavour is of the strawberry bubba, but it was so fucking rank. It's got like this real dick kick of artificial sweetener. Like it's trying to pretend like it's a meringue. And I mean, a meringue is basically just egg white and sugar. So they're trying to be like, oh, look at this really, really sweet drink. It was fucking horrible. It was one of those ones where it's like, oh, I almost had it in the F tier. But the more I drank it, I'm like, I'm kind of getting used to the flavour. But not only was that a bad one, but there may be a drink coming up further on that was ruined by this drink. Anyway, the A game drink, Tropical Zero. Now, a lot of these ones were the A game drinks. They came through the Reduced to Clear website. So they were close to expiring, but they weren't expired. Unfortunately, I couldn't find just the regular tropical drink for this, because I think there could be some potential with that drink. Because this one here, it just tasted like Prime, but after you've taken out all the flavouring. Like, I don't know how you take out flavouring from a drink, but it's more like, when you have a ice block and you suck out all the flavour, and then you're just left with ice. That's kind of like what this drink was. Speaking of that godforsaken drink, triple header time. So Prime released like a hydration ice line of drinks. And I was intrigued. I'm like, oh, these could be decent. And then I looked up the flavors and I'm like, oh, there's an orange one. There's a blueberry orange and lime one. Oh, a cherry orange and pineapple one. Because of that, I had expectations for them. And boy, did they bomb out. Like, the orange one's the worst one. And, you know, besides Robitussin, there was also this orange paracetamol that I'd have to take when I was sick. Not as bad of a flavour, but it's still medicine. It still tastes fucking rank. And that's what this drink reminded me of. And I'm like, I don't want that. As for the other two, the blue one, it just tasted of sour blueberries, which makes sense because it's blueberries and a couple of citrus fruits. But orange and lime are flavours, not just sour. Like, please. And then with the red one, it's just like, okay, there's a little bit of pineapple there, but we're getting hit with a lot of cherry. And as I said, or as I believe I said in the previous video, cherry is good until you have too much of it. It's just like that balls drink that was cherry flavoured. It was like you've taken cherry flavouring, added more cherry flavouring, and then topped it up with more cherry flavouring. It just completely overpowered the drink and ruined any other flavours there. Next up, we have Lewis Road Caramel Latte. This drink does what it says it does. You've got your latte, your coffee flavour, nice little bit of bitterness there, and then you got a bit of caramel. A nice, sweet hit of caramel. Buried under all the bitterness of the coffee. Follow it up with the Essential Amino Energy Rainbow Sherbet. So this is basically, I had ordered a few drinks from one of the websites that I get them from, one of the sports supplement websites, and they're like, here you go, here's a free sample of this drink. So it's another one where you mix the powder in with the water, I believe. And I'm glad that it was just a free sample and I didn't spend money on that. Boy, howdy was it bad. Like, it had a little bit of a raspberry taste, but it was, again, the cheapy raspberry taste, and I'm just like, there's a lot more flavours in the rainbow than just raspberry. Hey, it's time for the drink that I alluded to a few places ago. Switch blueberry meringue. So the blueberry flavour was, quite decent. I'm low-key a fan of blueberry flavoured drinks. But it was that shit-ass fucking meringue flavouring coming through once again. And that's the other thing. Before I even had this drink, I'm like, this is going to be a bad drink because it's got the meringue flavour. It was in my head already that it was going to be bad. So I was trying to find faults with it. So this drink might have rated higher if I tried it before the other meringue one. Unfortunately, I didn't. So this is where it has to stay. We follow this up with the Anchor Protein Shake coffee flavour. If you like coffee, I reckon you'll like this one. It's got quite a strong coffee taste here. It's not like a big bitter taste. It's just strong coffee flavour. Next up, New Zealand Muscle Ignite Blue Raspberry. This was a tale of two drinks. Because sometimes I'd sip it and I'm like, oh, that's a nice raspberry flavour. And then sometimes I'd sip it and it's like, oh, it's that cheap raspberry flavour. No two sips were the same. And while, the niceness of the raspberry was like, oh, I should put it higher. Anytime that cheapness came back, I'm like, nope, this is bad. This is bad indeed. And a similarly flavoured drink is the Rain Razzleberry flavour. So, literally days before October ended, I'm like, okay, cool, let me just start getting all my files together. And then I get this email saying that there's now rain energy at one of the shops that I shop from. So, I put in an order, and I'm like, well, it's Wednesday afternoon. This should probably arrive on the Monday, so it might not make the list. I might have to delay it. Friday, package arrives, and it's like, holy shit, it's here already. I was pretty excited to try this. And then you know what flavour came back out? That cheap-ass raspberry flavour. That being said, though, there were some hints of a nice flavour there. But just like I said previously, that cheap flavour, whenever it would come back in, just ruins the drink for me. Another back-to-back one here, which is kind of odd. It's the Greenhorn Melon Berry and the Greenhorn Pink Lady. So the Greenhorn Melon Berry is a melon and berry flavoured drink. Crazy, I know, right? Who would have guessed that? The thing is, when I say melon, I'm talking like rock melon, or like the green melon that you get when you get like a drink from Japan, not watermelon. That's got a bit more of a distinct, strong flavour, and when you compare it to berry, it way overpowers it. But then you get these little hints of berries coming in now and again. I was not the biggest fan of it, but I can see why people would like that. The issue is that the Lady Pink version of this drink, it was just berry flavored. You know what it tasted like? It tasted like the melon berry one, but without the berry. So basically, despite this being labelled as a berry flavoured drink, it just tasted of melon. Shout out Sam for this next one. First form, energy, screamin' freedom. When Sam and Kelsey went to America, Sam made sure to bring me home an energy drink from the States. And boy, he could not have picked a more American looking fucking drink if he tried. Eventually, the drink made its way to me, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, let's see what it's like. This is definitely a quintessential American flavour, the ice pop flavour. And as much as I dislike the ice plop, yeah, that's basically what it is to me, it's fucking ice plop. As much as I dislike the ice plop flavour, it wasn't that bad. Yes, it did taste like medicine, but it had some redeeming qualities. Now, I'm not too sure how to pronounce this next one. Nescafe Ice Choco Chino? Because it's not Cino, because C is two C's, isn't it? No, it is Cino, because Chino is two C's, like Cappuccino and Minccino, the Pokemon. Yeah, so Nescafe Ice Chocolate, that fucking drink, it's like you've just made yourself a coffee, but instead of pouring in regular milk, you use chocolate milk. So if you're a person that likes chocolate and coffee, I reckon you'll fucking love this drink, eh? Just don't ask me how to pronounce it. Number 200. Hawk Energy Drink. Cola. Okay, so backstory for my explanation of the flavour here. Back in 2021, Coke decided in New Zealand, hey, Coke Zero is going to go. Coke No Sugar is going to go. You'll be getting Coke Zero No Sugar. However, we still had the glass bottles of the Coke No Sugar because they were like $8 a can, so they weren't exactly the cheapest ones. Fast forward a year in 2022, and I'm playing Rocket League with Sam, and I say to him, you know what I found today at work? I found some Coke No Sugar glass bottles that had expired a few months ago. So, I had a sip and I tried them. Yeah, you could tell they were expired. He thought I was an idiot, and that was confirmed by about 5 minutes later. I'm like, hang on, I just need to go to the toilet, and then proceeded to upchuck my guts. So yeah, that's what this drink reminded me of. That flavour of the expired Coke No Sugar. Next up is a drink that about a week ago was a lot higher on my list. Gamer Sup's Sigma Brain. To me, this just tasted like the lime Raro with a little bit of spice. That is, until I made it like in a drink bottle. Because when I tried it, I just had it in a glass. 1 cup of water for 1 scoop. My drink bottle's 750ml. That means I can have 3 scoops of it. Took a big sip, and I'm like, oh, that's a really nice lime flavour. And my throat's on fire. Yeah, I think that this is probably one of the only Gamer Sups that it's better to have less of. Now, as we see, unlike in the F tier, the F plus tier has a lot more of the newer drinks towards the bottom. That Gamer Sups does make its way, to the top of the F tier. I think I originally had it in like the C, maybe even C minus, C plus tier, one of those tiers, but yeah, nah, too much of it at once has lowered it a lot. Which is annoying because it's one of the ones that I have at work now, so it's like it's summer, I need, a little bit of extra flavour just to get all that water down. It'll be quite nice. And yeah, nah, not going to be one that'll work for that. Now that we're in the D minus tier, let's get things going with another hydration drink. This time, the Ghost Hydration Lemon Lime. Yeah, this one went to the school of Prime, being like, hey, here's a liquid, it's supposed to be this flavour. If you think about it, it tastes like this flavour. Other than that, there's like no flavour to it. We followed this up with another one of them goddamn Talk energy drinks. This time the orange one. And hey, speak of the devil, Prime is back once again. Now, this one tastes like the orange Prime, but that's an insult to the orange Prime. It is not a good orange flavour. Next up is the other Ignite energy drink that I'd found, Fruit of the Forest. To say this had a weird flavour is underselling it. I was able to taste, fruit, but I wouldn't have been able to tell you what fruits I was tasting. There was just like no flavour to it, or sweetness. Very odd. You know what else didn't have a flavour? The next drink on our list, A game drink, dragon fruit. This just tasted like thick water. Like, I know dragon fruit, it doesn't have the strongest flavour. Like, I've had a dragon fruit itself, it's just a fucking kiwi fruit, but white. So, like, it's like me, a white kiwi. Remember, I had that Red Bull, and I loved that Red Bull. It had flavour. This has no flavour. We follow it up with a legit energy passion fruit flavour. If you know me, there's a couple of flavours that you shouldn't be able to fuck up. Mango and passion fruit. However, these quote-unquote healthier energy drinks, these more sport-orientated energy drinks, they have this chemically passion fruit flavour they keep going back to. It's the same as the fucking Oxy Shred ones. It just tastes like you've taken the idea of passion fruit, shoved a whole bunch of fucking chemicals in it and said, this is close enough. And as someone who has had many chemistry labs when they were at university, I know what the chemical fucking taste is like. There's been so many times I'd come home, I'd have like a frozen Coke, and I'm like, I taste like 8 different chemicals. Whoops. And thankfully, with this being another short one, our final one in the D- tier is the Sterry Stumpy Iced Coffee. Now, if you like coffee flavour, you probably won't like this one. This one is more of the, I'd say, a Hamish coffee, where it's like, oh, just pile it up with sugar and shit. It just doesn't taste of coffee, it just tastes sweet. Like a sweet milk. You'd almost want to say, hey, you use this to make the coffee. But yeah, it's not offensive. It's just, doesn't really achieve on what it promises out. I forgot that there was a lot of D- energy drinks in this list. So as you see them flying by, you might see the ones on this list make an appearance here and there. Nothing too out of the ordinary though. Rightio, boys, we're into everyone's favourite tier, the D tier. And we're starting it off with a drink that we in New Zealand should be bringing in soon, the Body Armour drinks. This one is the Light Dragon Fruit. There is a very, very minuscule flavour to this, and it's more berry than dragon fruit. But it's enough to get it out of the D- tier. As a drink, I would say not exactly something you go out of your way to have. I would stick to Powerade or even Gatorade, whichever one you prefer. But I mean, if you want to try it, I'm not going to say no. They're not that bad. It's just like saying the Arizona Marvel Peach Mango's not that bad. Remember what I just said about mango and how it's a hard flavour to fuck up? Yeah, well, you mix it with peach and it just doesn't go well. Mango's not supposed to have any sourness to it unless it's an unripe mango. So it's like you've taken an unripe mango, mashed it with a peach and said, here you go sir, here's your drink. God, this energy drink brand is fucking hilarious because it's like they don't fucking exist. Every time I go to look up like the PNGs for these drinks, non-existent. I was smart this time. After buying them, I just took a photo and that's, remove the background. That's the photo you're going to see on the side there. Now, this flavour here is supposedly a cherry flavoured one. It tasted more like just a normal citrusy energy drink with a hint of cherry. Not the worst, but I mean, not the best either. Next up, Freaked Energy Passion Punch. Now, remember what I just said about passion fruit with that other drink, the legit energy one? Same thing here. Less of a chemically taste, more of a passion fruit taste. Better, but not great. We follow that up with the Rise Energy Sunny D flavour. Something that amazes me is the amount of drinks, this one included, that taste like a flat soda. The drink itself is carbonated. You are drinking a carbonated drink. How does it taste like a flat fucking soda? So yes, this just tastes like Fanta that's been left out for a couple of days. Alright, another A-game drink here. This one is the grape one. The thing is with the grape one, grape is like one of my top tier drinks. The usual stuff. This just tasted of the cheap grape juice. It's not the worst flavour, but there's so much more that could be better. So, it's not bad, it's just not great. Speaking of not great, Squincher Liquid Concentrate Grape. So side note before we continue on with these, I did not buy a fucking 2-litre jug of all of these goddamn drinks to try, one sip and that's it. They have these little packets that you can just rip open and put in your water bottle. I think it makes half a litre, so a couple of cups of water. It's all good. This one is grape flavored. It's news to me. You could barely taste the grape. There was like a hint of grape, but it's more like you've taken a bit of grape juice and you're like, oh, I'm just going to dilute it down with a bit of water. But it's like 80% water and 20% grape. So yeah. Hey, this is what you call like a callback. We have the Schnack Protein Shake Vanilla. Not the original flavour, but the new flavour. However, once again, as you can probably read on the screen, it doesn't taste of vanilla. It tastes of coffee. That being said though, at least it's a decent coffee flavour. If you are a fiend for coffee, I reckon you'll like these ones. And I mean, it's better than the original one, that is for sure. Speaking of original, we have the Greenhorn original. So this is just basically the monster flavour, but a cheaper version. Probably more like the Mother original flavour. Not the best, not the worst. You know what else wasn't great? The Ghost Hydrations Sour Rainbow Strips. Now, I'm going to say it again. Sour rainbow strips. You know what it tasted like? Sweet gummy lollies. Obviously, that's no surprise. You've read what it says on the screen. You're like, why is this idiot taking so long to read it out? But that's the thing. It is not sour. If it was sour, this would be much higher. It was sweet. The first couple of sips, you're like, where's the sourness? I don't like it. It eventually does grow on you, but at this point, it was like, Boom RTD Fruit Crush. Now, with a lot of these drinks, it's like, oh, this is tropical flavoured, which basically just means it's a mishmash of fruit. Usually it's like, oh, all I can taste is pineapple, all I can taste is cherry, all I can taste is mango. This one, I probably got to the bottom of the can and I'm like, apple? We follow this with the Switch Energy Cream Soda. In 2017, I think it was, a lot of the budget fizzy drinks changed their recipes to become sugar-free. And a lot of them tasted quite nice, but there's a couple that they really lost their identity. And one of the ones that was the ice cream soda flavoured. It used to be like a very whitey type drink, but it then changed to be red, and it lost all of that flavour. You could still taste a hint of it, but it wasn't as strong as it used to be. And that's basically what this energy drink tastes like. Optimum Nutrition Amino Energy Sparkling Green Apple. I know that green apple and red apple have two big, they're two different flavours of apple. And green apple, not as strong as red apple. That being said, you got to put more flavouring in a drink if you're going to call it apple. You can't just be like, oh, it's like the concept of the green apple. It needed more flavour to it. It was just like, hey, here's this fizzy drink. Maybe you can think about apples to make it taste like that. Caribou Mixed Berry. Guys, I found where the apple flavouring went from the last energy drink. They put it in this drink. I do not know what berry an apple is, but that is the only flavour I could taste when having this drink. Solo Energy Lemon. Now, one of the shops that I get my energy drinks from, they sell these Solo lemon cans. And it's like, oh, get 2 for $5 or whatever it is. And I've always wondered, like, should I try them? They seem kind of interesting. If the energy drink is anything to go off of, it's like they've taken the flavour and just replaced it with more sugar. It tastes like sweet lemonade without tasting like lemonade. I don't know how they've done it, but it's like no flavour, all sugar. And the last one on our list, Rise Energy Sour Punch Blue Raspberry. Look, if you're going to say that you're a sour drink and you just taste sweet, I am going to dock you a few points. And that's what's happened here. This is a decent raspberry flavour, don't get me wrong. It's just not sour. Should it have been higher? Yes. But look, just make it sour would have been higher. I'm sorry. Now, as you can see here, there is no new energy drinks underneath Monster Ultra Zero. I thought I was too harsh on this, so I actually bought one not too long ago. I think I was too nice to that. I took a sip and I'm like, oh my god, this is worse than I remember. This is a horrible flavour. I do not like this grapefruit flavour. Which is really funny because, well, I'm not going to spoil it just yet. Right, into the D plus tier. We are almost at the point where it's like, I'll buy this drink again. And we're going to kick things off with another back-to-back. The May Coffee Crew Vietnamese Iced Coffee and the May Coffee Crew Coconut Vietnamese Iced Coffee. So these two, similar flavours but different. The non-coconut version was a bit more bitter, had a bit more of a stronger coffee taste to it, whereas the coconut one had no coconut taste, but also like no bitterness to the coffee. So swings and roundabouts and whatnot. You know what did have a big strong coffee taste? Rokeby protein smoothie, double espresso. It's it's all up in your face with the coffee flavour there. The thing is, it's a strong coffee flavour, but it's not as bitter. So, it was acceptable. You know what else was acceptable? The Arizona Marvel acai blueberry drink. Now, there was a Rockstar, emphasis on the was, that had these two flavours as well as pomegranate. And I'm like, this drink fucks. This drink has all of the sex. This Arizona Marvel one does not have anywhere near the amount of sex that other drink had. It's a very muted berry flavour. It didn't hit the same. Like, I know that I'm comparing a carbonated drink to a non-carbonated drink, but I'm talking about flavours here. Nothing to do with the little bubbles. Plus, if you want bubbles, you're going to drink the next one. OxyShred Infinity Strawberry Sunrise. I don't know what it is about those goddamn OxyShred drinks. There is like an 80% chance if you open it, like you do with any normal drink, the thing's going to fucking fizz up and overflow. And this was one of the ones that did that. And it's a shame because I lost a few drops of the strawberry apple flavoured drink. This is probably, at this point, one of the better strawberry flavoured, carbonated drinks I've had. But that's not saying much. The next one on our list, the Zombie Labs Creaming Soda, tried. There's a few flavours that I'm very harsh on. Your mangoes and your cherries and whatnot. But creaming soda is one that it's very hard to get right, but when you get it right, it absolutely hits. They didn't get this one right, but they didn't exactly get it wrong. Yes, it tasted quite, artificially sweetened, but there was, a hint of the flavour there. But it's a little bit better than that? The Legit Energy Raspberry Drink. Now, you're wondering, hey Brooke, how did a drink that tastes like that cheap raspberry flavour end up in the D plus tier? And what I have to say to that is, it just hit differently. Usually when I taste that cheap raspberry, I'm like, ugh, yuck, disgusting, bleh. This one, I had it and I'm like, maybe I'm too harsh on this raspberry flavouring. Have another sip and I'm like, yeah, I might be a bit harsh on it. Of course, the third sip's like, nah, never mind, I was right, but those first few sips is what got it this high. GamerSup's Nile Nectar. When you're using kiwi as the stronger flavour of your drink, you know that it's going to be a bit muted. That being said, nectarine and anything, orange or citrusy, usually overpowers stuff, especially such a muted flavour like kiwi. Not here though. No. It was just like, hey, it's a kiwi in liquid form. Not exactly the worst, but it's not something that'll be clamouring to get more of. Now, if you mix the GamerSups with maybe some carbonated water, then you'd have the Bio Plus energy drink, Kinetic Kiwi. So, I don't know how to explain it, but previous one tasted just like a regular kiwi fruit. You scoop it out with your spoon. It's quite nice, a little soft. This tastes like the kiwi fruit, where you peel all of the skin off, and you cut it up and you can eat it with a fork. It's the same fucking fruit, just a little bit different in their texture, but somehow that changes the flavours of the drinks. I do not know why drink companies continue to try and make cotton candy drinks. They're hit or miss, usually miss. Like, I think there's maybe been one or two good drinks, and the V version of the cotton candy was not one of the ones that hit. And what I've been really harsh, on V drinks and being like, oh, the flavour of V is what brings these drinks down, this one brought it up. The flavour of V meshed well with the cotton candy flavour they were trying to make, and it almost was really enjoyable. That being said, it was the worst of the 3 new Vs that were brought out around this time, so that obviously did not help its case either. Switch dragon fruit and berries. Hey, here's this drink. It's going to taste like dragon fruit. Hey, what did you think of this dragon fruit drink? It tasted of berries. Hey, this is a dragon fruit and berries drink. That is how I imagine that went. The board meeting for that drink being created. They're just like, well, I guess there's a bit of dragon fruit in there, so we can keep calling it that. The man shake chocolate. Now, I am a man, so I feel like I am qualified to rate this drink. As a man, if you'd given me this drink and said, hey, here's a chocolate drink, I would be very disappointed. There are so many ways to make chocolate protein shakes. There have been so many good ones. There's really been a bad one. This isn't a bad one per se, it's just disappointing. That's why it's not in the top, C tiers or whatever. You know what else is really disappointing? Squincher, Freeze Pop, Watermelon, Sugar Free. I've found that watermelon is a hard flavour to mess up. The only issue is when you don't add enough watermelon flavouring. Anytime watermelon is diluted, it goes from being like A to B tier all the way down to a D tier. And that's what's happened with this drink here. Sort of surprisingly though, next up we have the Talk Energy drink, Pink Grapefruit. First thing I have to mention about this drink is while almost all of them had that goo that stuck at the bottom, this one didn't. This one whisked up perfectly. No little lumps, no goo at the bottom of your drink. Just a nice fluid drink. This was the drink that followed the vanilla drink, and so my body was already like, nah, this is going to be hard to swallow. I took a sip, and it was almost stuck in my mouth, like I didn't want to swallow. But eventually I swallowed, and I'm like, we're onto something here. This one's quite nice. So I took another sip, and another sip, and I thought, the grapefruit flavour's not overly overpowering, but it is quite sweet. Oh, I didn't even realise that was the top of the D plus tier. So, yeah, once again, a lot of drinks in the top of the D plus tier for the newer ones here. That Talk Energy, the pink grapefruit, damn near made it into the C minus tier. But I mean, at this point now, we have gotten rid of all of the quote unquote bad drinks. We're now on to the, at least mid to good drinks. So, if you've been paying attention, you're like, oh, I feel like I need to find a new drink. These are the ones coming up that you should have a look for. So we're into the decent tiers now, and with the C minus tier starting off, we're going to go to Sup Energy Endurance Berry Rush. A lot of these berry drinks are a combination of like your blueberry, your raspberry, your whatever other berry. This was just raspberry. Not bad, just wish there was a few more berry flavours in it. So remember how I said about that previous Rise Energy drink that I said, hey, you've got the word sour in your name, you need to have sour in it? Well, it seems like the sourness from that drink was added to this drink, the Rise Energy Sour Punch Green Apple. This tasted like a lot of sour and barely any apple flavouring to it. In all honesty, not the worst. Like, sour apple's quite a nice flavour. But, I kind of needed a bit more apple flavour to it. This was just a sour drink, not an apple drink. But speaking of sour, we follow this up with Manuka juice. This is, I believe, a local energy drink. And it's a delicious idea, but there's one issue with it. This is a lime and honey flavoured energy drink. If it had been lemon, I think this would have been like A minus tier at minimum. Lime and honey, though, don't really go together as well. It's still nice, it's just more of a sour honey taste than the sweet lemon and honey flavour. Time for another apple drink, I guess, with the OxyShred Infinity Sparkling Apple. You may be wondering, what the fuck does apple and vivid mean? Now, have you ever taken the cap off a Vivid, and it has that smell? You know that smell? That smelly smell? Take that smell, mix it with the, apple flavouring, and that is what I was tasting there. That is the only way I could describe it. We follow it up with Bacchus F. One of the big complaints I have with Robitussin is its aftertaste. They've decided to get rid of the aftertaste of Robitussin and be like, hey, this isn't actually medicine anymore, it's an energy drink. Here you go. Not like the worst or anything. Let's follow it up with the Zombie Labs White Monster Killer. Man, why is it called White Monster Killer? Is it a white monster that is a killer? And why is it spelled Monster with an A and not an ER? Well, if you know the White Monster with an ER, that is the grapefruit monster energy drink. You know the one, the Ultra Zero, the one everyone loves. This White Monster Killer is also grapefruit. It's not as bitter as the Ultra Zero, but it just doesn't have as much flavour. It is sweet. I gotta give it that. And it's a lot better than the monster, I'd have to admit. So, hey, you've done your job. You've killed the monster. Hello? Is this drink lost or something? You're telling me that there's an A game drink that's not in, like, the F tier? Yeah, well, remember how I said with the Citrus Zero version of this, it would be a nice orangey lemon flavour, and then you'd be hit with regret? Well, it turns out, to get rid of the regret, you just need a little bit of sugar. This was actually a really enjoyable drink. I was like, holy shit, this is great. Like, I love it. And we follow it up with the bucked up Miami Vice. Now, when I hear the words Miami Vice, I don't think about the TV show. I think about Vice City. When I think about that, I think pink, purple, and blue, not pineapple, strawberry, and mango. I'm thinking more like coconut and the other flavour that goes with the coconut, like a cherry coconut type vibe. The entire drink has a really nice fruity flavour. So it took me off guard. I was like, holy shit, this is different. I like it. But it's that fuck-ass strawberry flavouring that just overpowers mango and pineapple. How do you overpower mango and pineapple? Two of the best flavours overpowered by fuck-ass strawberry. God damn. This drink could be so much higher. Next up, the Schnack Protein Shake Salted Caramel. I do enjoy a salted caramel, like a salted caramel pretzel, salted caramel chocolate. This drink, not exactly the greatest display of salted caramel. You did get a little hint of caramel here and there, but aside from that, it was just almost overpoweringly sweet. Kind of like you've just eaten an entire block of chocolate. It's like nothing, it just doesn't taste anymore. It's just sweetness and ugh. White Wolf Ice Cream Soda. Not gonna lie, these guys were cooking with their ice cream soda flavouring. The only issue is that someone spilt some cough medicine into the mix. And what could have been an A tier drink is now in the C minus tier. Before I continue on with the Body Armor Light Peach Mango, I need to open the blinds because the cat sees a fly. So Body Armor Light Peach Mango. One of the cardinal sins about any mango drink or whatever is when you have another flavour and that flavour overpowers the mango flavour. Yes, it's nice. Yes, it's still quite sweet. But all I can taste is peach. Red Bull Coconut. Well, all I could say after having a sip was, yep, that's coconut. Like, there was barely anything to distinguish it away from a regular Red Bull apart from that, the coconut. Okay, I don't know if it was, a placebo effect or whatever, but I feel like these are actually the same drink. Pro Baller Original and Pro Baller Lakers. I'm pretty sure what they've done here is they've just been like, oh, let's just repackage this as the Lakers edition, put it in a different can, but it's still the same drink. That being said, I had both of those drinks. When I tried the Lakers one, I thought it tasted a little smoother, which is odd because they're both fucking liquid. You can't really get any difference in liquid unless you, freeze it or whatever. So, I decided to do a blind taste test. I took a sip from each drink and said, yes, this is the Lakers one. Then closed my eyes and had the drinks moved around. I then took a sip of each one again, and I was able to point out which one was the Lakers one. So I don't know if somehow my subconscious is like, hey, this is the Lakers one, or if there actually is a little bit of difference between them. But either way, I'm going to put the Lakers one just above the Pro Baller Original one. And just above these guys is the Shake to Go vanilla flavour. A lot of these protein shakes, vanilla is like the best flavour. Mostly because a lot of the protein shakes, they just taste like marshmallows. And I'm a big fan of the white marshmallows, which, vanilla flavoured. This one, not really that strong of a vanilla flavouring to it, so that's why it's the C minus tier. And in a very surprising appearance, we have a sparkling protein water finishing off our C minus tier. Now, yes, it's sparkling water. I couldn't taste any TV static. What I did taste was like peach that's just a little bit older. It's still nice, but it's just, you can taste that the skin is a little bit more wrinkly when you eat it. But aside from that, it's fine. Can't really complain. C minus, like, good on you, bro. Now, if I remember correctly, yeah, this C minus tier is fucking massive. And as you can see here, these newer energy drinks are all lumped together in about 3 different chunks throughout this tier list. Oh, this is it. We're at the halfway point of this list. The C tier. And we're going to start it off with the Red Bull White Peach. So, I've only just finished talking about the previous entry being a peach flavoured one. And this one's similar. It does taste not as sweet, which is obvious because it's a sugar-free one. But this is odd because the Red Bull flavour, that's distinguishable Red Bull flavour, it helps sweeten this peach flavour. Speaking of things that have been sweetened, we have, surprisingly, a Musashi Hydrate that's not in the F- tier, the watermelon flavour. And while, yes, it does taste very watered down, the sweetness of this drink is what puts it so high. Because if you're going to water down watermelon, at least make it, sweet. You know what else is really sweet and has just reminded me that I was supposed to do some baking today? The Sterry Stumpy Vanilla Iced Coffee. This just tastes like a coffee cake, which is what I was supposed to be baking today. Whoops. Now, if you don't know, coffee cakes, or at least a lot of the coffee cakes that I've seen, don't actually have coffee in them. No. These are drinks that you're supposed... These are drinks? What? This is a cake that you're supposed to have with your coffee. So basically, they're there to... What's the word I'm looking for? Enhance your drinking pleasure by being an addition to your coffee. Ahead of this drink, we have Ghost Energy Grape. Now look, a lot of the Ghost Energy drinks are really good. This one is only just good. Like, a lot of the newer ones, they're like quite sweet. They bring out a lot more, emphasis on the flavour. This one, a bit more muted. You know what else was a bit muted? The BSC Energy Orange Fizz. This is the first of a couple of drinks that I can think of off the bat where it's something and lemonade. The issue with this one is that the orange flavour that they've added absolutely dwarfed by the lemonade flavour. So what you're left with is a almost watered down orange drink. That being said, it's hard to fuck up orange drinks, so it's still pretty good. We follow this up with the Bio Plus energy drink, Bionic Berry. Now, imagine my surprise when I'm about to consume a berry flavoured drink and it just tastes of fucking Red Bull. It's okay though, because the next drink on our list is a nice tropical one, being the Power Brew Dropkick Tropical. So basically the Power Brew is just the delicious iron brew mixed with extra flavours, with this one obviously being tropical. All I could taste was passion fruit, which is amazing because how the hell do you make the iron brew flavour disappear? We follow it up with a very controversial take in the Brooke household, Zombie Labs Sour Apple. You've already heard me rant and rave about how, sour drink not sour, bad, poo-poo. That being said, the niceness of this apple flavour, it convinced me to put this high. But boy, you're lucky, because fuck, you're missing the sour. Stop making drinks that are supposed to be sour, sweet. Call it fucking sweet apple if you're going to do that. Next up, Gatorade Tropical Fruit. So, remember how I said about how the tropical flavours are like pineapple, or mango, or passion fruit, or, drinks like that? I wouldn't have classified berries as a tropical fruit until this drink. This is basically just a berry drink, but they didn't want to call it berry, they just wanted to call it tropical. So remember how earlier I said that Caribou mixed berries drink just tasted like apple? Well, now we have the Caribou apple flavoured energy drink. Do you think it's going to taste like berries? No, don't be silly. It also tastes like apple. Which is, good because it's supposed to taste like apple. Just like how this next drink, the Squincher Liquid Concentrated Orange, is supposed to taste like orange. Now, if you've ever had those, like the little orange flavoured tablets, like the vitamin C tablets, you know what flavour I'm about to talk about. It's that healthy orange flavour, which is basically just the vitamin C tablets all put together. It's not the worst, but it's not the sweet orange flavour a lot of people are used to when you hear the word orange. A couple of back-to-back Red Bulls here now. We have the Red Bull Berry flavour and the Red Bull Vanilla Berry flavour. In all honesty, these two drinks tasted pretty similar. The plain old berry one is just a mix of berry and pineapple, whereas the vanilla berry one, it's supposed to be vanilla, and I did get some hints of vanilla, but I also got hints of bubblegum. How? I don't fucking know, but yes, bubblegum in the vanilla berry one. Above this, we have the next sports nutrition Perform energy drink Blue Sour Straps. That is a mouthful and a half. And this drink was a mouthful and a half. I have to commend it straight away. You have said it's a sour drink, and it is sour. What I wasn't expecting was the raspberry flavour to be a jammy type flavour. I'm not complaining, mind you. I was actually debating whether or not it should go actually a little bit higher. But in the end, I think this is a good spot for it. Right underneath the next drink on our list, Boss Coffee Mocha. So, when I did the first tier list, this drink had been released, but it had been discontinued like a week before I started buying energy drinks. I thought to myself, oh, I can pad out the list by just adding this on and pretending like, oh, it tastes like chocolate milk and putting it in the C tier. Well, fast forward a year, the drink came back, and funnily enough, it just tastes like chocolate milk, and I put it in the C tier. Just in time for Halloween, we have the Alani Nu Witch's Brew. So obviously, you're looking at this and you're like, yep, that's a green apple flavoured energy drink. But what you don't realise is that there's these little hints of caramel throughout it. It's supposed to be like a toffee apple. Definitely a very good green apple. Could have done a bit more caramel to be a bit more toffee, but I don't know if that would have made the drink better or if it would have made it worse. Okay, grape! We have Powerade grape! So this is the new Powerade flavour. And while it does taste like grape, there's a very strong appley aftertaste, which is odd, because the sugar-free version of that, well, we'll get to that later. What we'll get to now, though, is another grape-flavoured energy drink in the Greenhorn Grape Zing. Well, it's supposed to be grape-flavoured. I took a sip of this, and I'm like, this is a very nice blackcurrant drink. Legitimately, there is no grape flavour in this. It just tastes like blackcurrant. Blackcurrants are purple, grapes purple. I just feel like they got a bit confused and were like, grape? Musashi Shred Raspberry Lemonade is up next. Well, really it should just be called the Musashi Shred Raspberry. There's fuck all lemonade flavour in this, which is kind of a good thing. But we compare it to other raspberry lemonade drinks that I've had. This is a lower tier of them. But at least the raspberry flavouring is a good one. It's like the raspberry flavouring of like a raspberry Coke, and not that cheapy, shitty raspberry flavouring that you normally get. Now, I don't know what a granadilla is, but I do know what a gooseberry is, and a gooseberry is bloody good. Yeah, so when I look at a drink and it says it's granadilla and gooseberry flavoured, I'm like, I don't know what to expect, but fuck it, here we go. Instantly hit with like a nostalgia wave for gooseberries. These used to grow like all over the place in people's backyards. You have to wait for like the shell, for lack of a better term, encasing the fruit to become a bit translucent. And then you can see this little gobstopper shaped yellowy orange ball of goodness. That's when you know you can pick them off the plant and eat them. And oh, what a flavour that was. And this drink has nailed that flavour. Now I sure don't know what a mangosteen is, but I sure know what a cucumber is. So, I don't even know if mangosteen's the proper way to pronounce it, if it's like mangostin or something stupid like that. But basically, it's just an orange. Or it's in the orange family, I believe. Which makes sense, because the flavour of this is like the ready orange raro. Like, I think it's the tropical one. But having that drink, I'm like, holy shit, this is like 1-to-1 of that raro. And that is what got it at the top of the C tier. You know, the more I look at these like complete tier lists, the more I realise, my god, this list is so much easier to talk about. A whole lot less drinks to talk about. And a lot of these drinks are like finding their ways to the top of each tiers. Like, look at that. The Barista Bros Espresso was top of C tier, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drinks ahead of it. Oh. Alrighty, C plus tier time. And to be fair, I'm not really giving these drinks any justice. I really should be reading their names out properly. So first up, we have the Boom Focus Red Alert. Yeah, Boom's all in capitals, so yeah. Again, nice raspberry flavour. It's like the raspberry lollies. Pretty happy with that. Anytime I say raspberry and it's not cheap raspberry, you know I'm going to be happy about that. But you know what I was even more happy about? The EHP Labs Hydro Juicy Watermelon. Now this is your basic watermelon flavouring. Not cheap, not underdone, just the right amount of watermelon flavouring in a nice, cool drink. Anyway, the drink above it is the Switch Energy Jelly Babies, and this just tastes like the cheap gummy lollies. But the thing is, cheap gummy lollies are fucking delicious. Cheap raspberry? No. Cheap gummy lolly? Yes, please. Above this, we have the Zombie Labs Blueberry Freeze. I don't have many notes about this. It just says blueberry. Flavour? Blueberry. Tastes like blueberry. Notes? Blueberry. Now, I could have done a really funny thing and put this next drink at number 100, but it makes sense that it's above number 100 because this drink is 100 plus. Yeah, this just tastes like the dissolvable Panadols. They've brought that back, by the way. I think in the last tier list, I was like, yeah, they discontinued the dissolvable Panadols that I use. They've brought them back, so I'm pretty happy about that. But anyway, this drink tastes like that, but sweeter. The Panadol that I have is for it being a medicine and a painkiller, quite a nice flavour. Also, there's that little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Stockholm syndrome, where it's like, if I have this, I will feel better, so it makes me feel better about it. That's probably not the right word, but you know what I mean. The only time I have that is when I'm sore, and it makes me not sore, so I like it. Alright, once again, we've got another creaming soda here, this time from Legit Energy. Again, it does taste mostly just like the sweetener that they've used, but this one's a bit better. That's all I can say. It's hard to describe. You've got three things that are the same. One just tastes of sweetener and it's bad. One just tastes of sweetener and it's mid. One just tastes of sweetener and it's decent. And that's this one right here. Hey, remember how in the last tier I said about raspberry lemonade needing to be a bit more of a mishmash together to be better? Well, that's what the White Wolf raspberry lemonade's done. It tastes of raspberry, it tastes of lemonade. Put it together, raspberry lemonade. Pen pineapple apple pen. Speaking of pineapple, Hercules Hydrate Pine Lime. I'm happy with myself for that reference because I did not actually read what the next drink was going to be and had a good giggle when I saw pineapple above it. Yeah, so despite me going on about pineapple, this mostly just tastes of lime, but there is some sweet pineapple flavouring to it. This is one that Hamish is going to definitely disagree with, but it is the V Strawberries and Cream. This just tastes like the strawberry Chubba Chub, which is a strawberry and cream flavoured Chubba Chub, in a drink form. It's weird, it's odd, but I kind of appreciate it for just how well it encapsulates the strawberries and cream flavour. But that being said, he fucking hates this one. And I mean, he'd probably hate this next one too. Switch Energy Iron Brew Cotton Candy. I love the way that these drink companies are like, we can't, we don't want to breach copyright by calling it Earn Brew, but it is Iron Brew, so we'll just write it as Iron Brew. It's like that White Monster Killer that I was going on beforehand. So Iron Brew, it's kind of like, it's hard to explain. You need to have a can of Iron Brew to understand that the flavour of Iron Brew is indistinguishable. Cotton candy has its own flavour, the sweet, sugary happiness. Somehow those two have come together to make Sweet Robitussin. Squincher Liquid Concentrate Mixed Berry. Well, this is an improvement of the berry flavour from the previous one that I was going on about. Kind of. This one does taste of raspberry, and of the colour blue. Not blueberry, but the colour blue. So you could almost say it's blue raspberry, but it's not like that. I don't know how to explain, but blue raspberry and raspberry don't taste the same, even though it's basically just a different colour. That's it. In my mind, they're two different things. You know what else is two different things? Kiwi and strawberry. So the Ghost Hydration Kiwi Strawberry surely has got a couple of flavours to it, right? It's not just completely overshadowed by the strawberry, right? Well, normally the setup for this joke is me being like, all I could taste is strawberry, where the fuck is the kiwi? No, I could actually taste the kiwi in this. I was impressed. Hey, I heard you like colours, so here's another squincher. This time it's the wild berry flavour, and this one tastes of the colour red. There's not really a berry flavour, but it's not really anything else. It's more berry than anything, but just doesn't taste of berry. Next up, we have the Energade. So you're mixing like Powerade, Gatorade with energy. Energade. Or it's Energade, because jade is with a J, but Energy, Energiade, Jihad, blueberry drink. It just tastes of berries. It's quite nice. Very good cold. Like, I know a lot of drinks are good cold, but I had a sip of this, like, to try it, and then I had it in the chiller at work, and then a bit later I had a sip, and I'm like, oh my god, this is actually like 10 times better cold. And that's helped it get to the C+ tier. Speaking of things that I deal with in the chiller, Up and Go Energized Banana. Now, while we do not sell banana Up and Go Energize at work, we do sell the thing that it tastes like, banana yogurt. That being said, it's a lot weaker of a banana flavour. Like, if you've had a banana flavoured drink and a banana yogurt, you know there's two different amounts of banana. And so it's kind of disappointing. but at the same time, it's still banana, so it's still good. Last tier list, there was a prickly pear energy drink that I had, and I'm like, this is the worst thing. It tastes like the moisture from a bloody garden centre. So I wasn't exactly too excited to try this one. I made sure that this was the first energy drink of these that I tried, so I was like, get the bad one out of the way right away. So I was pretty pleasantly surprised when I could taste not only, the pear that it said that was there, but also wine gums. It did still have like that garden centre vibe to it, but instead of overpowering the drink, it actually enhanced the flavours of the wine gum pear mix that I was tasting. Oh, we're back to Games Ups, I see. This time, the Pom Pom Punch. Now, pomegranate is a very delicious fruit, and it's a very distinctive flavour. That being said, most of the flavour here tasted like blackcurrant. Not a bad thing. The pomegranate did, have little kicks here and there to amp up the flavour, but just not a top tier drink. Just like how the Sup Energy Endurance Citrus Blast is not a top tier energy drink, because despite being a citrus flavour, it's mostly orange with a little hint of lemon in there. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy orange as much as the next guy, but I was like, what am I drinking? Oh, it's orange. Oh my god. I've got another boom drink coming up, and it's the boom RTD peach. It's like you've taken a peach, you've dipped it in sugar, made it into a drink, and given it to me. That's what it tastes like. I don't know why. I'm reading this in like a singing type of voice. Absolute Australian classic here. Oak iced coffee. Now, we used to sell oak drinks here in New Zealand. I don't know if we still do, but I don't see them anywhere. So when I saw this pop up on Reduced to Clear, I was like, ooh, I don't see this anymore. I'll be able to give it a go now. And let me tell you, we really should keep selling these. These are really sweet, really nice. Now, not much of a coffee flavour to it, but I mean, it's nice. And to round out our C plus tier, we have Ghost Energy Strawbango. So, the combination of these flavours are strawberry, banana, and mango. It is not strawberry and banjo like I keep thinking. So what happens when you mix those three flavours together? What do you get? Well, according to me, it just tastes like lime. I don't know how that happened, but it just tastes like lime. Yeah, this C plus tier was insane because I really wanted to be like harsh on the drinks, and I wanted to be like, okay, B is where all the good drinks are. Like nothing. B is ones that I'd buy again. So a lot of the drinks in the C plus tier near the top might have been ranked like B minus before that, but I mean, there's still so many good drinks here. Alright, so now we're in the B minus tier, and this tier is like, I would buy you most times, but you're not my favourites. And we're actually starting this off with a drink that was probably D tier, maybe bottom of C tier, about a week ago. And it is the Gamer Supps JFJ brand snake oil. So this is supposed to be an apple pie flavoured drink. And you may be thinking, what the fuck do you mean an apple pie flavoured drink? Well, it's apple and cinnamon. It's scary how well this tastes like apple and cinnamon. Now, the first couple of times I tried it, I'm like, this is alright, I guess. Nothing too crazy. Then I took it to work, and after unloading like 6 pellets of Coke, I'm like, I'm gonna have a sip of this. Had a sip, and I'm like, okay, I see the vision. I like that. That's pretty good. Almost as good as the next drink on our list, Squincher Freeze Pop, mixed berry, sugar free. Now, a lot of these freeze pops, you may be wondering, well, Brooke, why did you put them on the list? I thought you were saying you're only doing drinks, and these are how you say not drinks. To be fair, if I didn't freeze them, they would be drinks. However, I really enjoy just how well sugar-free ice pops come out. They're always sweeter than you think they are, and this is no exception. This is just like, hey, you want some raspberry flavour? That is the noise of someone shoving one of those freeze pops into your mouth. Anyway, 102, Power Brew Maverick Berry. This is supposed to just, be a bit of a berry flavour. And it turns out that the berry that we're looking at isn't technically a berry. It's a currant. A black currant. Yeah, to me this just tasted like iron brew mixed with black currant, so not bad. 101, Rokeby Protein Smoothie Dutch Chocolate. A lot of the times when it comes to protein shakes, the chocolate is either like really, really sweet or it's that healthy flavoured. This one tastes like the calcium chocolate milk. You know, those big like 1.5 litre jugs that you can get at the supermarket. The issue is, it needed to be richer. Almost even a bit bitter. So, as much as I liked it, I don't think it could go any higher. Hey, we're into the top 100 now, and we're kicking it off with the Squincher Freeze Pop Dragon Fruit Sugar Free. This was a very tart flavoured one. I have written here it tastes like a tart kiwi fruit, but do remember that to me, dragon fruit and kiwi fruit are the same font. Monster Reserve Peaches and Cream. I think this is around the time where I started to warm up to the peach flavoured drinks, and this was one of the ones that really helped me enjoy them more. Like, this actually tasted like peach, with a little bit of creaminess to it. Quite nice. Oxy Shred Lemon and Lime Spritz. This is like you've taken my favourite Oxy Shred, the Slime and Lime, a little bit of lemonade, and added just a hint of the Oxy Shred chemical taste. That chemically taste has what's kept this from being any higher, but that first couple of sips were like, ooh, have they cooked here? Do you want to know the most fucked up moment I've had trying all these energy drinks? Well, it was having this energy drink here. Switch Energy Speckled Eggs. So the flavour of this energy drink is those mini, the little mini eggs that come out around Easter. And do you know how confused I was? I am drinking a carbonated drink that tastes like chocolate. Why does the carbonated drink taste like chocolate? They don't go together. Carbonation and chocolate doesn't go together. Chocolate is supposed to be, thick and milky and creamy. I really liked it. It tasted like mini eggs. My brain was like, what happened? What's going, how am I, what is going, who is, huh? Dubai energy drink. It just tastes of Red Bull but sweeter. Rise Energy Pink Splash. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you do a strawberry energy drink. I'm almost thinking about it now, and I've just talked about how chocolate's supposed to be creamy. Strawberry's similar. That's supposed to be like a more creamy, milkier flavour. Like, would you want a carbonated banana milk or a banana flavoured drink? Like, no. So why would strawberry be any different? That is like a staple milk. Although everyone knows that chalky milk is better than strawberry milk. That being said, this one, it works. If you love strawberry and you want an energy drink that tastes like strawberry, hunt this one down. Musashi Shred Orange and Mango. You may be thinking, hey Brooke, this is a bit low for you. And you'd be right. I was kind of disappointed with this. Now, the most recent Musashi energy drinks, like the lemonade one and the green apple one, they have been full on flavour. So I was expecting to get absolutely mouth fucked by orange and mango flavours. And while that didn't happen, it was still a nice orange creamy type drink. I think I expected too much out of it. That being said, it's still a B-. It's still a good drink. But you know what was better? The Bucked Up Sour Bucks. Now these just tasted like sour Skittles. That is what these tasted like. Next up, the Squincher Liquid Concentrate Lemon and Lime. This one's quite nice because it's mostly lime with hints of lemon. Lime is a very dominant flavour, and a lot of the times drinks like this overcompensate with lemon, so it's a lot sour and not as nice. This one, it finds a good blend. Number 91, it's Sting! So it's a strawberry energy drink, and it tasted like something that I don't believe exists. Strawberry Pepsi. Next up, the Rise Sparkling Blackcurrant. I had high hopes for this one as well, and I think this is another case of me being like, this is my expectations, it's good, but hasn't met my expectations, so B-. That being said, I feel like the blackcurrant flavour should have been a lot more prominent, a bit stronger. It was kind of muted, and I'm not a big fan of these drinks that have these big, strong flavours that are muted. At number 89, we have Zombie Energy Ruthless Raspberry Lemonade. Once again, it's another good raspberry lemonade flavour, but less of a chemically taste than the previous one that I'd mentioned. Like these Zombie Energy, like that one there, I almost think it's a bit underrated. Because, when I get new energy drinks, say with the Zombie Energy, I think there was 4 or 5 flavours. So I get them all at once. So they don't really have a chance to stand out. It's just here's this one, here's this one, here's this one, that's good, that's alright, that's good, that's alright, that's good. So, yeah, I think this is a good one. I've actually bought that for my Secret Santa. Spoilers for a week ahead, maybe. I don't know when we're doing Secret Santa. But it's one of the energy drinks that I bought for them. At number 88, it's another energy drink that I was hunting for the last year's tier list. Kamikaze Slushy Madness. So basically, this is supposed to be like your old, for lack of a better thing, the Quickie Mart, like the slushies that you get there. That's like the first one I thought of. There's obviously many places like your frozen Cokes and all that, but like slushy flavored. It's nice. But it is just a lot of sweet nothing. But you know, I kind of liked it. Not my favorite Kamikaze. Spoilers, but it's good. Number 87, Legit Energy Citrus Lemon. A couple of these lemon energy drinks really hit quite well. This one is not one of those, but the sweetness of the lemon is what gets it ahead. Like, I'm a big fan of a nice tart, dry, sour lemon. Sweet lemon has its places, and this place is a B-. Rise Energy Cotton Candy. Well, this one doesn't exactly taste like cotton candy. What it does taste like, so you know that video is it a video? Yeah, it's a video, GIF, whatever. The raccoon gets the cotton candy and he puts it in the water and it completely dissolves and you're like heartbroken for this poor animal. That's what that water would taste like. So it's not full on cotton candy, but it does have the elements of cotton candy in it. Ghost Hydration Orange Squeeze. You're telling me that you've got this watery... I'll refer to it as a water. It's not really a water, it's a hydration drink, but it's just a clear liquid that tastes of orange. You're telling me you have this orange water, and it tastes like a very citrusy orange. Almost, I'd actually have to say more mandarin than orange, as someone who has now got a bowl of mandarins in his room. Yeah, they taste more mandarin than orange, which is delicious. Like, oranges are great, mandarins are leagues better. Rockstar Sour Apple Sugar Free. There's a part of me that hates these drinks. Not because they're bad, but because they're the reason why we don't have El Mango anymore. Speaking of which, I'm taking another sip of my El Mango. I've only got like 100 mils left or whatever. If we compare all of the previous Rockstar drinks with the new Rockstar drinks that have come out, considering this is the first one on the list, these outweigh the previous drinks. Now this one has a decent apple taste, but it just doesn't have the sourness to really elevate it to the next level. That being said, it is a nice apple taste, and the sourness that is there is enough to get it to B- tier, but definitely should have been higher. Next up, Mango Tango. You have two of my most favourite drink flavours here, as well as pineapple. How is it only B-? The reason is, it is a sweet blend of all three of the fruits. These flavours on their own would be better than what is being made here, but this is still good. Arizona Marvel Dragon Fruit Watermelon. You have a dragon fruit. You have a watermelon. You put it together, it just tastes like pineapple juice. I like pineapple juice. I like this drink. B-. So let's have a look at the B- tier. Like, holy shit, I forgot how like stacked the B- tier was. This makes sense as to why all the new energy drinks don't even stack up to some of these. Oh, look at them all. Kamikaze Rainbow Gummy, Disorder Red Russian, Big Cock. Oh, what more could you want? Ultra Peachy Keens this low? Oh, that's a bit low now, don't you think, Brooke? Haha, let's start the B tier. Surely I haven't already started talking about this in the previous tier, which will then confuse editing, Brooke. I apologise for that. And you know what the worst thing is? I spent like 10 minutes talking about this one drink, and I'm like, oh, that's in the B tier now. Whoops. Okay, so this one, I feel a little iffy including it, but I have to do it. Rockstar Watermelon Kiwi Sugar Free. Now you'll be saying, Brooke, this already came out. You already reviewed it. You didn't like it. What I was told is that the only Rockstar that would be continued on from the previous legacy of Rockstar was the guava one. This was a flavour that was made before then, and yes, you are correct, I did not like it. But I think they've tweaked the recipe here, and it's come out pretty well. Now, Rockstar are well known in the Brooke universe of not having good watermelon flavours. The watermelon kiwi drink that I've been talking about, as I say, not great. But they also had a red can watermelon drink, and I thought it was the worst fucking thing I'd had. Cheap watermelon flavour, disgusting. So I was not sad to see that one go. Now, the watermelon flavour here is beautiful. It's perfect, and it has the kiwi aftertaste, just to give that little bit of an extra edge. All right, so the next drink in the B tier list that I perfectly started haven't, it's not out of order or anything. Uh, oh god, it's this goddamn Energade. Surely it's Energade, right? Like Renegade and Gatorade. Yeah, I'm gonna go Energade. Oh my god, how do I pronounce that? Oh, it's like knock. Who's there? All right, so next on the list is a drink that's very easy to pronounce, Energade Nachi. So basically, it's another type of orange, more mandarin. I think it's like. I'm pretty sure. Can you guys remember that? It's like the TikTok video of that guy, and he cuts open the fruit, and it's like gushing with juice, and they're pretty sure it's just like they're pouring juice over top of it. But that's what I assume this Nakchi is supposed to be like. It tastes like mandarin juice, not like a overpowering mandarin. You know how that's like a little more tart than orange? It's not as tart, but it's a lot sweeter than a regular orange. Quite nice, really. But it doesn't hold a candle to the BioPlus energy drink Cloudy Lemon. Now, I believe it was the previous tier, like these tiers are starting to mix together now. I started recording this when the fucking, not Giants, who's Daniel Jones play for now? The Colts. When the Colts were playing, and now we're almost at halftime of the Bills Chiefs game. But I had mentioned that I am a big fan of like the old-fashioned lemonade type flavour, how it's just a swift kick in the balls of tart, sour lemonness. And that's what this drink is. It's quite nice. I did not expect to see the Love Muscle Sparkling Protein Water Pineapple in the B tier. You're telling me that I put sparkling water in a B tier? Well, I don't taste any sparkling water flavour. It just tastes like pineapple. Sweet, sweet pineapple. I took a sip and I'm like, where's the TV static? Where's the pineapple? Where's the protein? Where's all the bad flavours? Absolutely delicious. If you, for some reason, need protein water and you want a little bit of a zing to it, get this. Hey, you remember how I said that the V strawberries and cream tasted like the strawberry Chupa Chup? It's not the only drink that tastes like that, as we have the Freaked Energy Strawberry Shock. This didn't really have that creamy taste that you got with the V Energy one, which is a good thing. I feel like the V one was a lot cheaper tasting, whereas this is a lot more full. It's like you have strawberries in your mouth. And speaking of strawberries, we have the EHP Labs Hydro Kiwi Strawberry. I mean, my notes sum it up pretty well here. Nice, sweet fruit juice. Following this up, we have the Rise Energy Kool-Aid. So remember how I said that, tropical is just a mishmash of flavours, sometimes pineapple, sometimes cherry? Yeah, all I could taste in this was cherry. Not an overpowering amount of cherry, the right amount of cherry. Pretty happy with that. This drink's flirting with me. Switch Cutie Pie. So, can you remember back when you were a kid? Back, oh my god, like 20 years ago. 30 years for some of us. Not me. I'm still a kid. I'm still like 6. But you remember back in the day, those Christmases, and you'd get like the carnival drinks, the pack of 24 like little drinks. And the raspberry one was always just really super sweet, and that's one you'd always want to have around Christmas time. That's what this tastes like. Obviously nowadays you can't really experience this anymore because they've taken the sugar out. As I say, 2017 they're like, budget drinks, no more sugar in them. Which, it's a good thing because a lot of people, that's all they could afford, so that's all they drink. But, like, come on. I miss some of them. Speaking of sugar-free though, we have the Casa Tropical sugar-free. So when I had the original Casa Tropical, I was like, oh, this just tastes like Blue V. This one, the sugar-free one, you'd think, oh, it tastes like the sugar-free Blue V. Nah, it still tastes like the Blue V, just not as sweet. But it did have a funk to it that did keep it from going any higher. Right, I'm just going to read out the name of the drink, and I'm going to read out my notes for it. Ghost Energy Peaches. Sure is peaches. Number 71. Oxy Shred Infinity Peach Mango. The mango in this drink help really bring the peach flavours to the surface. It's a very, very sweet drink, and I'm starting to get on board with peach drinks now. White Wolf Cotton Candy. Okay, fellas, I know that the standard used to be Bang for cotton candy drinks. This is the new standard. Also, because I'm pretty sure that all of the Bang drinks are now discontinued because Coke bought them, and then they're just like, we're not going to make any more anymore. We're not going to make any more drinks for you guys, sorry. But yes, this, it actually tastes like cotton candy. I had to take a sip, take another sip, and I'm like, They actually nailed it. I think they have. Alright, fellas, the nicest energy drink on the list, number 69. It just sounds like a fucking gun that you'd get from the box in Call of Duty. M150. So, a lot of these Japanese, Chinese, regular Asian drinks like this, they're usually like a cherry type flavour. This did have that cherry flavour mixed with a bit of bubblegum. I remember taking a sip of it, waiting for, that big kick of the balls of cherry flavour to hit. And it was like, oh, hang on now, this is good. I'm going to hit these two back to back. They're two strawberry flavoured drinks. Up and Go Energized Strawberry and Rokeby Protein Smoothie Strawberry. The reason I'm hitting them back to back is that they both taste like strawberry yogurt. I put the Rokeby one ahead of the Up and Go one though, just because, well, I flipped a coin. I said heads, Rokeby, tails, Up and Go, and it landed on heads. And that's why it's a head. These two are pretty similar. Like, the only difference is that the Up and Go one's a little cheaper. But we, at my work, don't sell them. So, heads and tails. White Wolf, Strawberry Watermelon. I mean, you could say that there's strawberry in this drink. I wouldn't believe you, though. That being said, though, the watermelon flavour, I guess the strawberry is helping make it look so nice. But, it's very nice watermelon flavoured energy drink. Game of Sups, Browser Brew. I feel like with a lot of these Game of Sups and other ones that just taste like Raro, if it's a Raro that like I used to have back in the day, it gets a few nostalgia points, and I think that's what's happened here. It's a very nice blackcurrant flavour, but nothing too special. Anchor Protein Shake, Creamy Chocolate. What can I say? It's a really nice chocolate shake. It's like a bit of ice cream mixed with chocolate milk, put it in a blender, boom. Alani Nu Strawberry Surprise. This is as sweet as a motherfucker. I just took a sip and I'm like, holy fuck, it's like sugar first, strawberry second. And it kind of needed it. Like, I fucking harp on so much about strawberries in this video. This is another good one. So, we've got a couple of watermelon drinks here. First up, the V Watermelon Candy. Now, have you ever had those hard watermelon lollies, like the little... It's basically just like the hardened sugar lollies. They're real cheap, like older people usually have them. And they're like radioactive green, sometimes a bit of red on them as well to make them look like watermelon. That's what this drink tasted like. And as much as I harp on about, it tastes like a cheap lolly, that's a positive thing. And just above it, we have the Rain Melon Mania. These have a similar taste, but are a lot more tart. And that's what gave it the edge to get it to the 61st spot. But right above it though, we have the EHP Labs Hydro Raspberry Refresh. Now this just tastes like, again, raspberry Raro, but it has like almost like a powdery taste to it, which is odd. It's an odd thing to say about a liquid, but it's hard to explain. But it's almost like you haven't mixed your Raro well enough, but like the flavour's still there. Switch pineapple, mango, and cherry. If you've ever had a pineapple and mango slushy and you're like, you know what this needs? A bit of cherry. This is the drink for you. The cherry doesn't overwhelm you at first. It lets you taste the pineapple and mango. And when you're finished with that, it's like, here's your cherry, sir. Ghost Fizzy Orange. This one took me by surprise because when I ordered the drinks, I had ordered the Ghost Orange Dreamsicle. So I took a sip and I'm like, that's different. Took another sip and I'm like, where is the cream? After my third sip, I looked and I'm like, oh, this is just an orange one. And boy, was it a good one? Absolutely. If you like orange juice, like if you're a normal person and likes orange juice or Fanta or whatever, you're going to like this drink. If you like the orange dreamsicle one, I reckon you'll like it. Maybe not as much, but it's not going to be too bad. Next on my list is one that I did not expect to be this high. Manuka Fuel Big Buzz. This doesn't have a big flavour to it. I love my big flavourful drinks. But this was fine. It was a little bit of sweetness to just a regular energy drink flavour. But when I finished the drink, I was like, holy fuck, that was nice. I want another one. Luckily, the only way that we were selling them at work at the time was in a 4-pack of 250ml can, so it's got another one. So the big thing about this is that it's like a honey-based energy drink, and that's what gives it that subtle sweetness. Now, I'm pretty sure that most supermarkets only sell these as 4 packs. So if you're not too confident about it, I'm pretty sure like Chemist Warehouse or Bargain Chemist, one of them, they sell the cans. So your best bet is if you want to just try once, go there. Otherwise, get yourself a 4 pack from New World. And finally, the last drink in the B tier, Switch Sour Worms. So this is just supposed to be your sour lollies, and it wasn't as sour as I'd love, but what it did have was tartness that you get from pineapple. Like, you know when you have a pineapple and it hurts your mouth because it's actually eating you because the pineapple's acidity? That is the sourness in this drink. That being said, I don't think it's supposed to taste like pineapple, but it did to me, and hey, it got it to the top of the B tier, so must be good. Alright, little quick recap now of the B tier, and as we see once again, a lot of these drinks stick near the top of the middle of the B tier. But I mean, those last four, boom, 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 top of the B tier. Alright, we've got 55 drinks to go, and the bottom of the B plus tier is EHP Labs Hydro Fijian Pineapple. Oh my god, this is sweet. It's like you've taken a chunk of pineapple, you've dipped it in sugar, and then you've dunked it in like a fucking syrup, and that's how fucking sweet I found this drink. Not too overpoweringly sweet, which some drinks you have and it's like, ugh, I don't want any more. It was the right amount of sweetness to be like, give me more, give me more, give me more. Celsius Mango Lemonade. Obviously, the first thing I felt when I took the first sip was, well, that's not enough mango flavouring. But that's not the point of this drink. This is more like you've taken a thing of Just Juice and you've mixed it with lemonade, which is basically just Juice bubbles. Like, the whole flavour of this isn't supposed to be, like, strong. It's supposed to be a nice, sippable drink, which is what this is. You know what else is quite sippable? Squidger Liquid Concentrate Cool Citrus. It's a nice balance of the sourness of the lemon and the sweetness of the orange. Number 52, Kamikaze Electric Lemonade. So, while I was going around looking for a couple of energy drinks for my personal collection, I saw this and was like, hello, is this a new one? But first off, can I just say, the colours of this can, they tickle my brain well. So as you might have guessed, this is a lemonade flavoured drink, and while it's not like a super sweet lemonade, there is enough sweetness in it to be like, damn, this is good. Game of Sups, Kissy Kissy Passion. Now, aside from the interesting name here, this was another one that benefited from the drinking it in summer compared to drinking it in winter. A lot of the Game of Sups that I have ordered, obviously, they had a big summer sale in America. Over here in New Zealand, their summer is our winter. But I mean, when they're offering free shipping, it's hard to turn down, especially since shipping nowadays is, oh, fuck me, very expensive. So when I had it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's a nice passion fruit flavour, but like, it's not really hitting. Anyway, the last couple of weeks have been kind of warm, and I'm like, oh, give this another go. Oh my god, I love it so much. I did debate about putting it in the A- tier, but I think this spot in the B tier is the perfect spot for it. And when you think of summer, you think of watermelon. And so let me introduce you to Alani Nu Watermelon Wave. You've taken the nice, sweet watermelon flavour and added just a little bit of seasoning to it. And this seasoning is sugar. It's fucking sweet. This is definitely one of those drinks that once you have it, you're like, I'm just going to have a sip, and suddenly the whole can is gone. Just like the Anchor Protein Shake Vanilla. Like, congratulations guys, you finally made a really nice vanilla protein shake that tastes like ice cream and not just marshmallows. Now, if there's one thing that I was very hesitant about, it's anything with matcha, because that just tastes like dirt to me. Not like wasabi, but like just dirt. Green dirt. So imagine my surprise when I took a sip and I'm like, holy shit, this is a nice like mixture of lemon. It's almost like a Lipton iced tea, but really focused on the lemonade flavour instead of just being lemon. Next up, we have the Freaked Energy Pineapple and Mango. This is a very well-balanced drink. Like, there's not too much pineapple, there's not too much mango. And while this keeps it from being any lower, the lack of a dominant flavour keeps it from being any higher. Okay, grape! We have Gatorade Grape, sugar-free! And right above it, okay, grape! We got Powerade Grape, sugar-free! So the Gatorade version of this drink, that's the purple grapes, so like your darker grapes. A little bit muted, but quite nice, especially for and it's quite sweet, especially for a sugar-free type drink. The Powerade one, which ranks above it, is the green grape flavour. Now, I prefer those grapes. Like, I'm a big green grape fan. I like both grapes, but I would rather green than the purple ones. So, to have a drink like that, it's like, ooh, I really like this. Greenhorn Beast. Once again, I have made the fatal error of having the best drink of the lot that I ordered first. This one was a punch flavour, so I'm like, oh yeah, bit of cherry, bit of pineapple, bit of other stuff. It's mostly just sweet cherry, so yeah. Not too much cherry, obviously, because you see how high it's rated, but if you like cherry, you should like this one. Oxy Shred Juicy Watermelon. Hey, remember what I said about 7 spots ago about the Alani Nu watermelon drink? Yeah, it's basically the same here, except a bit sweeter and a bit more tart. Now, remember how all the way back in the F- tier I had the Schnack Protein Shake Chocolate, and I said that they had new and improved flavours? They were not wrong. Oh my lord, the gap between that and this, number 42, the Schnack Protein Shake Chocolate New, oh, honestly, one of the greatest chocolate thick shakes that I've ever had. And it comes in a can, so it's pretty cool. Number 41, Squincher Freeze Pop Orange Sugar Free. Alright, this is probably nostalgia talking, but do you remember back in the day when you used to have like those ice pops, or freeze pops, whatever the fuck you want to call them, ice blocks that you have in the fridge? They were like the big thick ones, and you take them out, and you had your white one, you had your pink one, your green one, and you had the orange one. And I always found that they've never had enough orange ones in the packs, so they became like my favourite just because they were so rare. That's what this tasted like. It took me back 24 years or whatever, and I'm just like, back when times were much simpler. That being said, it's really nice orange flavour, so like, you should get this. Rockstar Guava, sugar-free. Look, guava is a very strong flavour. This is quite muted, but even a muted guava is a strong flavour. And hey, I haven't said it yet, but it's sugar-free, so it's good for you. Taps forehead. Not as good as Monster Energy, though. The Ultra Vice Guava flavour, the first time I had it, it was an imported from America one, and it's like, there's no flavour to this. So this was sitting probably the D- tier. About a week ago, as I mentioned, I think with the body armour, that this came in. It was a new monster for us in New Zealand. I'm like, well, surely it's better, right? I took a sip, and I'm like, okay, I need to stop ordering these imported American drinks. Because there's another drink on this list, further on, that I had the same reaction to. It was sitting in the D tier until it came to New Zealand proper. And then, well, considering it hasn't come up yet, I fucking loved it. But yes, it's a very, very nice guava flavour. It's not overpowering, and it's one that you can just sip on. It's not one that you just take and scull, and I appreciate it for that. Number 38, Ghost Lemon and Lime. Look, lemon and lime, hit and miss for me. A lot of the time, it's just not that nice of a flavour. It's not strong enough, or it's too strong. This was a wild one. I cracked it open, took a sip, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's lemon, and oh my god, the lime flavour. I would say the lime is definitely the dominant flavour here. It's a very sweet lime, almost, like a lime pie or whatever. And the lemon juice it's there to keep it in check. Switch, watermelon, strawberry, and pear. Now, it's 3 flavours, and it comes in 3 parts. When you take that first sip, all you can taste is the pear. As you are swallowing, all you can taste is watermelon. When you finish, all you can taste is strawberry. I don't know how they did it, but it was very impressive. It wowed my brain. Freaked Energy Ice Storm. I was very much ready for this to be like another white monster type drink, but then I took a sip and I'm like, oh my god, this is just like a sweet water with hints of orange. The small amounts of like your zesty citrus fruits really helped make this drink stand out, and I went from originally thinking I'm not going to like this to I need to order more of this when it's on sale. Mother Orange Creamsicle. Unlike a lot of drinks on this list, this one started out quite high and has fallen down. And I think the big reason to that is that if you have it when it's cold, compared to if you have it like room temperature or whatever, it changes the flavour. If you have it when it's cold, it's a nice orange drink with hints of the cream, like the creamy flavour to it. You have it when it's warm, it's just a mishmash of the two. They don't really have a dominant flavour, you can't really taste what it's supposed to be, and it's just not as nice. And that's what's knocked it down from like, I'm pretty sure it was in the A tier, and now it's in the B plus tier. And the final drink in our B plus tier, Bucked Up White Gummy Deer. So it's basically just jelly beans, but the white one only. Similar to like the white wine gum, it's that specific flavour in an energy drink. And while I'm not super crazy on those, like I still prefer the blue jelly bean, and I don't really give a fuck about white wine gums compared to other ones. It was a really good drink. It was one where I had a couple of sips and I'm like, I really want more of this. And I was almost sad that it wasn't like a full 500ml can. And yes, that has been the B plus tier. So let's have a look at the beer. Let's have a look at don't look at the B tier. But as much as I've talked about how good this B plus tier is, look at the drinks from last year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them absolutely smashed out that white gummy deer one, and I really enjoyed that drink. So, strong list. We're in the A minus tier now. These drinks are ones that you need to hunt down, search, find for. Whenever you see them, get them. They're great. And what better way to start off than two of Brooke's favourite type of drinks? Power Brew Diablo Cherry. Earn Brew mixed with cherry. Oh my god, I did not know I needed this. I thought that these two flavours would clash, like like two ends of the magnets that are the same pushed together. But no, they're opposite ends of the magnets. They stick together. Basically, what I'm trying to say is these two flavours go together really well, complementing each other, surprisingly. Super C Energy Drink. Have you ever had a Fanta, like a nice, cold, crisp Fanta, and thought, this wasn't sweet enough? If so, this is the fucking drink for you. Good lord, this was sweet. Yeah, not much else to say apart from it's sweet and it's orange. Oh. Puhoi Valley Mocha. When you see a fucking coffee drink in the AT, you know that it barely tastes like coffee at all. But to be fair, I must say, this does have hints of coffee in it. If you've ever made like a self-saucing chocolate pud or anything like chocolate pudding related, and you have to add coffee in, that's kind of like what this is. The coffee's only here to enhance the chocolate flavour, which is not exactly what mochas are. At least what I've been told anyway. Manuka Fuel Collagen Buzz. So this is once again, your honey flavoured energy drink with a little bit of berry this time. After a couple of sips, I'm like, oh my god, I know what this tastes like. This tastes like ambrosia. And it makes sense. Well, you don't use like honey in ambrosia, you usually use like marshmallows or something. And you got fresh berries in there too, and it's like, oh my god, this is just ambrosia in a liquid form. Squincher Freeze Pop Punch Sugar Free. Hey, you know how I said I like cherry? Well, imagine you had cherry, but it was frozen. Yeah, that's what this is. No notes, just cherry. Squincher Liquid Concentrate Lemonade. Right, once again, we're going back to the nostalgia well here. The white Raro. Like, I'm pretty sure it's got like a blue label at the top that says lemonade, but the white Raro. That's my favourite Raro. So to actually find that again in a different form, I'm like, ooh, I quite like this. Carabao Original. So this tastes like just like a regular Red Bull, but it's made better. It's a bit sweeter, and it has less of a harsh flavour to it. Like, if this is what Red Bull tasted like, I could understand why people go crazy for it. But it's not. It's just a better Red Bull. Musashi Shred Passion Fruit. I have said so many times it's hard to fuck up passion fruit, and Musashi have proven that by making one of the best passion fruit energy drinks there are. It literally just tastes like passion fruit juice, which doesn't really sound like it's real because passion fruits are, those lumpy fucking pulpy fruits. I highly doubt you'd get much passion fruit juice out of passion fruit pulp. But if you could, that's what this drink would taste like. Wolf Energy Guava X. So they used to have a guava energy drink. Like, I don't know where they come from, where Wolf Energy comes from. Like, as I said, they don't exist on the internet. But they used to have a guava energy drink, and I assume it's been discontinued, and they've replaced it with Guava X. On the can, it says that this is a much stronger guava taste, and I'd agree. But what's interesting is that it's got a little bit of tang to it. And normally you think tang, like a bit of orange, like a citrusy fruit or whatnot. The tang reminds me of tomato sauce, which is not exactly the thing you'd want to have in a fucking guava energy drink, but it works. It works well. If you, once your brain gets past the point of being like, that's tomato sauce you're drinking, you'll really enjoy the drink. Fuck, you must enjoy the drink if I've got it that high, even though I'm saying, oh, it tastes like tomato sauce. Number 24, Switch Dry Lemon. Have you ever had a long day at work, or you've been out in your gardening all day, you're doing some work around the house, it's a really, really hot day, and then you finish, and you're like, okay, time to have a drink, and you get yourself a nice lemonade. That's what this drink tastes like. It tastes like a really nice lemonade after a big day of work. Really satisfying. The Manshake Iced Coffee. So, is this the best coffee flavoured shake I've had? I think so. Would I recommend it if you like coffee? I reckon you like it. Has it once again reminded me that, hey, I should have been baking a coffee cake by now? Yep. If you like coffee, I recommend this. If you don't like coffee, I also recommend this. Give it a go. I reckon you'll like it, eh? Rokeby protein shake, banana, cinnamon, and honey. So, have you ever made banana muffins, but you've had some extra cinnamon sugar laying around from when you made, like apple crumble or like apple muffins, and you decided, hey, I'm going to put the sugar on top of the muffin, see what they come out like? Well, if you haven't, this drink is basically an amalgamation of what I've just described here. It does take a little, it takes a couple of sips to get used to the idea that it's like, ooh, cinnamon, honey, banana, but after that, it's smooth sailing. Optimum nutrition, amino energy, sparkling tropical sunrise. Finally, a tropical drink that brings together the best of the best flavours. Equal parts pineapple and passion fruit, absolute sweetness bomb in your mouth. The flavours present here work together so well to provide an excellently sweet energy drink. The Rise Sparkling Mandarin. I've already said earlier in this video how much I enjoy mandarins, and so you've actually got a drink that's mandarin flavoured. It's so much better than just regular orange flavoured energy drinks. And it's only a little bit tart. Gamer Sup's Crusaderade. If you remember in my first video, my favourite Gamer Sup's flavour was the Goon's Grandpa's Ashes, or Grandma's Ashes, depending on what they were selling at the time. Since that video's come out, Swagger Souls, the guy behind Crusaderade, has joined the Goons. That means that motherfucker has not one now, but 2 Gamer Sup's flavours that are A- or higher. So basically this one just tastes like the Lipton iced tea sachets that we sell at work, where all you need to do is mix it with ice water and you have yourself some Lipton iced tea. And the last one in the A- tier, it's hard to go wrong with it. Power Brew Original. This just tastes like an Earn Brew, which, as I've mentioned earlier in the video, I adore. But it's an energy drink, so you can't go wrong. They haven't added anything to it, they haven't tried to change the flavour. It's literally like, here's an Earn Brew, but in a bigger can. As you can see, as we're going through the A- tier, I'm looking at this and I'm like, some of these would probably go higher. Like Rio Punch, I reckon, would get into the A tier now. And you see there, the Wolf Bite, that's the old Guava one that they did. Whereas Guava X is the new Guava one, which makes sense as to why it's a bit higher than that. Oh man. So many good drinks on this list. So we're basically at the final tier here, as the A+ tier is my top 10 favourite energy drinks. Which means that the drinks here are drinks that I find absolutely amazing, but just not good enough to be in the top 10. We're starting it off with the Gamer Sup's Chug Juice. Now, this is supposed to be like a berry citrus type of drink, but the first time I had it, I'm like, this is just like guava. It just tastes like the Mother Lava Guava energy drink, but obviously in non-carbonated form. We followed this up with Switch Energy Drink Vita C, Starfruit, and Goji Berries. Look, I did not know what I was expecting flavour-wise out of these, but this just tastes like guava mixed with jelly beans. So basically you've taken the purple mother and the rainbow mother and put it into one drink. Monster Energy Ultra Hawaiian Blue. Hey, remember how I say that tropical is usually just like cherry and pineapple? Well, this is basically just cherry and pineapple. The tartness of the cherry meshes so perfectly with the sweetness of the pineapple that it's, oh my god, it's one of the ones that I just wish were sold in New Zealand. Like, you remember how I said that, I ordered some that were imported from America? This is one of the ones that it was from America. Usually, their flavour is muted. And if that's the case, oh my lord, this will be an amazingly flavourful drink if it comes to New Zealand. Number 14, Thailand Red Bull. So, this is just a Red Bull, but it's made in Thailand. So what's different? Well, it does still have the Red Bull flavour, but it tastes a lot more syrupy sweet. And while usually syrupy sweet things aren't near the top of my list of favourite things, when it's mixed with the Red Bull flavour, oh my lord, it was just like, this is what Red Bull should be like? Please, we need this. Replace Red Bull with the Thailand Red Bull, please. Number 13, Shake to Go Chocolate Milkshake. You have melted down some Whittaker's chocolate, you have taken the highest quality milk, from the #1 cow in the world, you've added, little bit of this, little bit of that, chuck it in a blender, and you've made yourself the richest, thickest chocolate milkshake. That is what this tastes like. I was blown away by how good it tastes. Number 12, Rockstar Passion Fruit Sugar Free. It's sugar free, but you wouldn't fucking know it because god damn is this still so sweet. And I mean, as I say, it's passion fruit. It's hard to fuck up passion fruit. And thankfully, the people here at Rockstar didn't tinker with the flavour too much. It is just passion fruit, and it is just amazing. Number 11, Blue Cock. So, last year we had the big cock, and this year we got the blue cock. Unfortunately, I cannot find any picture of this online. So, if you look really closely at the PNG I've got on the side there, I have just coloured in little bits blue. The can looks pretty similar to what I've done there, and I mean, it just tastes like Blue V, and everyone knows Blue V is like absolute top tier. Number 10, Gamer Sup's BBL. What? The BBL stands for Blueberry Lemonade. What did you think it stood for? Now, remember how last year I said my favourite G Fuel flavour was the Blueberry Lemonade one because it was, blueberry and lemonade meshing well together? Well, here it is again in a less chalky version. BSC Energy Great Punch. V Great Burst. These two, being back to back, are for good reason. They are both grape flavour. The BSE one is a lot more subtle, but still really sweet. And the version above it, the V Great Burst, is a insanely sweet, insanely right in your face, up in your grill grape flavour. If you want like a nice grape flavour, you take the BSC one. But if you want one that's just like, give me all of the sweetness, you take the V one. Number 7, Monster Energy Lando Norris. This is a combination of like your regular rock melon and the yuzu flavour that seems to be taking over these days. Like more and more things I'm finding are having yuzu flavour added to it. And it just tastes like sweet fruit and flowers, which is hard to describe what that tastes like. But this is definitely one where it's hard to explain, but it's absolutely divine on the mouth. Number 6, Manuka Fuel Hydro Buzz. So this is basically a lemony water type drink. So how is it this high? Well, it just hits the spot. Like, have you ever had a big day of sport and then you go and like you buy your lunch or whatever, and during it you get a Mountain Dew Code Red, a nice cold one that's been sitting in the fridge all day. You know how that just hits the spot? Well, that's the same with the Manuka Fuel Hydro Buzz. It just hits that spot. And it's just sweet enough to be like, oh, I want more. Number 5, Switch Vita C Blueberry and Raspberry. I feel like it's kind of just cheating here, but this just tastes like the C4 Cosmic Rainbow, just not as fully flavourful. That is what's kept it out of the A+ tier, because if it just tastes like the Cosmic Rainbow, obviously it would be right behind the Cosmic Rainbow. But I mean, A is still great. Number 4, Gamer Sup's Sploosh. Look, I know it says mango coconut's the flavour, but did you ever have those slushies like back in the day, back in like 2006? That was like tropical flavours, but they had the little fruit tubes at the bottom. That's what this tastes like. And oh my god, you know that scene in Ratatouille where the guy eats the ratatouille and he's taken back to when he was a kid? That was me with that drink here. Oh my lord, I love it so much. And yet there's still 3 drinks better than it. Number 3, Rokeby Protein Smoothie Chocolate Honeycomb. Have you ever eaten a Crunchy Bar? That nice honeycomb inside, coated in chocolate. Absolutely delectable. Now imagine that was a protein smoothie. This, no lie, was one of, if not the greatest chocolate shake I've ever had. Unfortunately, my work don't sell them, but they do sell them in town. So whenever I want this, I just have to go into town to get it. Little bit of an issue there, but hey, it's absolutely worth the drive. If you ever see these in a store, you need to buy it just to try it. Oh my lord, like a Crunchy Bar in a liquid form. How else can I sell it to you? Number 2, Monster Energy Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red. This was the other monster that I was alluding to back when I was talking about the Vice Guava. However, when I had it, I thought, oh, this is a nice flavour. Little subtle, but oh so sweet. So it arrives here in New Zealand and I'm like, oh, I'll just get a can of this. I really like this one. Holy fuck. This is what I imagine White Monster tastes like to most people. Like, this is a grapefruit flavour. It's my second favourite on this entire tier list. And it was mere inches away from cracking into the top 10. And yet I absolutely despise the White Monster. If you don't like the White Monster, or if you love the White Monster, I implore you to try this one out. You will love it. I would almost say a money back guarantee, but I'm a fucking poor kid. I'm not even a kid, I'm fucking nearly 30. I'm gonna kill myself. What? I would almost like guarantee you'd get your money worth, no matter how much you pay for it. Although I would definitely recommend buying it from like a supermarket and not from like an import store because, oh boy, You can get like 4 of them for the price of the import store ones. And so, that just leaves the number 1 drink. One issue though. It's not in the A tier. That's right, this final drink has knocked itself into the A plus tier. It is in my top 10. So, unfortunately, that means that one drink has dropped out of the A plus tier. And that will unfortunately be the Optimum Nutrition Amino Energy Grape Drink. It was a toss-up between that and the other grape drink in there, the Freaked Energy one, but I kind of prefer the Freaked Energy one to that one. Why did the Blue V, who was ranked 10 on the list, not drop out? As I've said before, Blue V is elite. It shouldn't drop out of your top 10. So, before we get to the A plus tier, let's just have a look at the new A tier. I'm actually surprised just of how well these newer drinks have done. Because looking at the drinks below them, I'm like, oh, these are so good too. Like, oh, and a lot of them are discontinued now. It hurts my heart. And look, you even see there, the Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red is ahead of the grape drink as well. It's just, oh, I really did want to put it in the top 10, but I couldn't do it. So, let's go. What is my number 1 drink of this tier list? I think it'll be a bit more fun if instead of going straight to this drink, I start from 10 in the A plus tier, and we work our way upwards to see where this drink is ranked. Number 10, Blue V. Number 9, Freaked Energy Grape Soda. Number 8, Monster Lewis Hamilton Sugar Free. Number 7, Ghost Warheads Sour Watermelon. Number 6, Monster Pipeline Punch. Number 5, Monster Ultra Fiesta. Number 4, Gamer Sups Grandpa's Ashes. Number 3, C4 Cosmic Rainbow. Number 2, Musashi Mango. Well, who would have guessed that a mango drink would enter my top 10 once again? Unlike the other Musashi drinks that I mentioned earlier, you know, the green apple and the lemonade one, this one isn't overpoweringly sweet, and that's why I love it so much. It is just absolute mango energy. It's not too sweet, it is not tart, it is not sour. It is near perfect. There's been a couple of times where I've come to work and I'm feeling a little ill. And I'm like, you know what I need? I need me a Musashi. And I'll go grab one of the mango ones. Just like that Dragon Fruit Red Bull, I am feeling not only better, but absolutely undeniable. I am feeling great. I am ready to fucking do the work of like 18 men. I am ready to go. I am ready to, do things. Yeah, it's a little bit of a flat ending there, but absolutely insane how good the Musashi Mango is. Unless you dislike mango, you will love this drink. And I mean, while we're here, one more time, let's give it up for the number 1 drink on my list. And may it rest in peace, Rockstar El Mango. That's it. I'm done. I can start this fucking coffee cake with 20 minutes before my mother gets home. Sick. Right, so that was another long one, wasn't it, guys? Thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. And I hope you found, a new energy drink you want to try. I'm off to have a cry now, because I'm out of El Mango. And I'll see you guys again on Tuesday for Madden Highlights number 73. We all made the playoffs. Shocking, I know. As well as again on Wednesday for the best of the Doiz 2025. Bye, guys. Oh, my fucking dream.
Running overtime.